I want to show you some features in your camera that you may or may not be aware of in here. So I am just going to take a picture, portraits of this beautiful water bottle that's sitting right here. Now I don't have the best lighting in here. If you're doing portraits, definitely set yourself up someplace where you know you're going to be alongside of a window where you've got some natural light coming in, or in your bathroom if you're taking portraits of yourself, so there's light coming from above. But I'm going to switch to portrait mode here. Now, the iPhone at least gives you some interesting things that you can do in portrait mode here. So number one, I forget what model cell phone it started with that you could just place a subject in here. Usually in portrait mode, it's looking for a face, and it might not, if you have an older iPhone, it might not allow you to do that. But at least I have an 11, so anything past that will allow you to take pictures of different things. So it's got, number one, some different features in here. You can certainly fool around with some of those things if you want to, but what I want to show you here with natural light, place subject within 8 feet, that's fine. I'm going to back up a little bit. In the upper right-hand corner of my phone, it might be located in another area, but I've got this F up here. That's your f-stop. Now, if you were in school and you were using the cameras in there, you would be shooting in aperture priority, which gives you control over your f-stops. So it's kind of cool that iPhone, at least, allows you to do this. If you have another type of phone, you might have some zoom capabilities that would that are going to change your background. But I want you to watch, keep an eye on, if I focus here on this water bottle, let's see if I can get this to do it. Maybe it's under Studio. Keep an eye on, let me take a photograph here of the background. It should give you, it should give us a very, very blurred up background. Here we go. All right, now it's happening. So watch the doorknob in the back there. So 1.4 in a regular camera, if you are moving your f-stops back and forth, so if you're controlling them, 1.4 is a very, very wide opening in your camera lens, and that will shorten your depth of field. Watch the doorknob in the back as I start to scroll down. I go to 6, 7, 8, and all the way up to f16, and I take that photo. And I've got this really clear photo. Now let's go back again. And I'm going to take my f-stops, and I am going to move them all the way down to the other end. And we're just going to compare here for a minute. So notice how everything in the background is blurred out. Now, technically in a cell phone, your aperture or your camera lens is not opening and closing. What it's doing is it's sort of digitally blurring the background there. So here's f18, I believe it was, and here's 1.8 or 1.4. When you're shooting a portrait, you definitely want to have that nice blurred out background like that. So make sure that you take time to open up your f-stops or this capability here. So you want to blur out. So if you're taking photographs of someone else or yourself, you want to sort of line them up. You have these nice rule of thirds grid. So if, let's say if the Kirkland brand there is this person's eyes, or whoever you're photographing, if it's their eyes, I'm going to sort of settle right in the center there. I want to blur out that background. Let's see if I can get it to go. It's kind of a bit quirky. Tap the screen where you want it to focus. I don't know whether this is going to blur out the background or not. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It does not appear to have done it that time. There it goes. It might take a while to catch, but be patient with it. And you should get this really nice blurred out background. So you have one thing that's in focus and then the background's kind of blurred out. So let me just show you an example here of some of these pictures. Now I did this with some of the different lighting techniques that are in there. They were sort of, I can't remember if I completely shot them in black and white. But these I did in front of a window. It's all natural light. I held up the cell phone on my cell phone on some of them, and other ones I had a selfie stick and I set the timer. But you can sort of see, this is just, I used my son's bedroom and I was in a dormer here. So it was like sort of right in front of the window, just trying different lighting techniques. But they were all mostly done with natural light in front of a window. I could have done and I did it in portrait mode because the background is all blurred out there. So you can sort of see some of the things in the background. My son's lamp is back there. You can use lamps, you can use natural lighting. The idea is that you just have, good portraits by the time you're finished with all of this.